But now Kenyans are working under the age. The more things change, the more they stay the same. These must have also sunk in for President William Ruto, who has been increasingly reenacting his predecessor's Uhuru Kenyatta's script since he rose to power a year ago. President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza administration has been forced to regurgitate a lot of retired presidents' projects and policies which they opposed while on the campaign trail, pointing to a new economic reality that confronted them once they took over the reins. Some of the policies and projects that the Kenya Kwanza administration opposed and which they are either implementing or plan to roll out include the plan to lease the assets and management of 5 crucial seaports including Mombasa and Lamu, re-injecting fuel subsidy and deploy the Kenya Defense Forces to implement public projects. The Ruto administration had opposed a plan by Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta's regime to lease out assets at the Mombasa port amid claim that they had been secretly sold to Dubai Port World FZE. The Kenya Kwanza administration is now targeting to lease out sections of Kilindini Harbour, Dongo Kundu Port, Lamu Port, Kisumu Port and Shimoni Fisheries Port. Now, apart from the port leases, President William Ruto's campaign team had gone against increasing taxes and introduction of the 16% value-added tax VAT on petroleum product. President Kenyatta's government agreed with the International Monetary Fund to reduce debt vulnerabilities by increasing tax revenue compromised by putting the VAT, a consumption tax, at 8%. However, in his first budget, President William Ruto increased VAT on fuel to the standard 16% despite public outcry over the implementation of the measure on the cost of living. Besides appointing a military person, Lieutenant General Mohammed Badi, to run the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, the retired President Uhuru Kenyatta also enlisted the military to run the Kenya Meat Commission and to refurbish all airways lines. This military son of the public services was opposed by President Ruto's team, but it looks like Ruto's government is now retreating from this position and it has recently been using the military for various civilian roles. The government deployed the military to aid in refurbishing the Kenyatta International Convention Center ahead of the Africa Climate Summit held in Nairobi in September 2023. KDF were also being enlisted to refurbish both the Nyayo Stadium and Moi International Sports Center Kasarani as part of the country's preparation to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations tournament. President Ruto has also come up with their own version of Huduma Number, a system that sought to consolidate all primary data on Kenyans into a single database. The current administration insists that there are differences between Ruto's Maisha number and Uhuru Kenyatta's Huduma number. This is some Cuba news.